This is the Dodgers POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Los Angeles Dodgers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, hello and welcome to the Locked On Dodgers POSTCAST on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. We appreciate you allowing us to be your source for your team every day. Well, that ninth inning happened quick, fast, and in a hurry. Ben Caspary, 6 pitches to wrap up a nice win for the Dodgers. 9-3 the final. 3 things that struck me in this one. The Dodgers, 3 leadoff homers. That's always nice to see. Freddie, 3 Ks. That's not nice to see, but he did get a base hit. And Mookie Betts clutched up when he needed to, some insurance in the 8th, and Max Muncy launched one to the moon. Absolutely crushed to right field for a 3-run shot. So finished strong, and that's a good way to go. I'm Pete Fox, host of the Locked On Dodgers POSTCAST, covering sports in LA, dating back to 2007 for ESPN LA and NBC Sports Radio. Tonight's episode of the Locked On Dodgers POSTCAST is brought to you by Supply House. Yamamoto got the start for the boys in blue, looking to shake off a bad outing last time out. He got the win, and that's good. I don't know that he feels great about this performance. Going 6 is nice. I mean, he had to feel good about that. The 3 runs on 4 hits, including the home run to a guy that had 5 consecutive Ks, that doesn't feel great. But Yamamoto did have 6 Ks. That's a good position to be. He looked decent at times. When that splitter is working, and it was working pretty good today. Here are the Ks: splitter, 4-seam, splitter, sinker, splitter, splitter. I don't understand why you throw anything else, really. Like, don't throw fastballs. I don't like, what's the point of that? The splitter is so dominant, you know. I know you got to mix it up a little bit, but mix it up with a change or mix it up with the curveball. Although that's what the home run was hit off, a curveball that didn't really do much, kind of just big fat meatball over the center of the plate, and he absolutely launched that. That was Soderstrom, who had 4 Ks last night as the A's put up 11 runs in a dominant win over the Dodgers, 11-1. Then he struck out the first time tonight. So he had 5 consecutive Ks there before the home run. But last night's game, Dave Roberts, they commented on it early in tonight's game on the broadcast. That last night's game, Dave Roberts described as one of the least competitive and least interesting games of the season. And I was like, yeah, that sums it up pretty good right there. There wasn't a whole lot going on for the Dodgers in that one. Mookie Betts was 0 for last night. He was 0 for tonight until the 8th, so like 0 for 7. And then the A's walked Ohtani to get to Mookie, and he took care of business and was absolutely jacked at second base after that insurance 2-run double.
This is what you'll be talking about.
We'll be talking about the fact the Dodgers offense woke up again and woke up late. And I guess, I don't always love it when they wake up late, but I'd rather have them do that and get more comfortable and get more used to late inning heroics than putting up 4 or 5 in the first and then going to sleep for the next few innings, or the rest of the game. So having that clutch late game gene is a good thing to have in your head for the Dodgers. As for that 6th inning, that was also very, very nice. A very productive inning where a lot of different things went well for the Dodgers.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Definitely in the 6th inning, Andy Pages led off with a walk. Conforto, an opposite field single, which was a nice piece of hitting. He continues to find his way back and hit the ball. Then Pages got nailed trying to advance to third. That play was curious for me. I appreciated the aggression. The fact that Pages was being aggressive, trying to go to first to third on a left field, opposite field single from Conforto. It's not ideal though. And obviously he got nailed pretty easily. I think he would have had a much better shot had he slid better. It was just kind of an ugly sort of Pedro. What the heck's his name? I forgot his last. What's Pedro? Famous Dodger that couldn't slide. Not Martinez. Guerrero. God, blanked. Pedro Guerrero. The way OJ Simpson says it. Pedro Guerrero. Anyway, yeah, Pedro. Remember, I don't know, you younger guys don't even probably know who he is, but he was a Dodger slugger like in the 80s, and he couldn't slide. It was like an unfolding lawn chair when he would try to slide. You would have to close your eyes. It was so ugly. But that's kind of what Paez did. I mean, Paez is nowhere in the same ballpark as being as bad as Pedro Guerrero, but his cleat got jammed in the dirt and his leg wasn't extended. I think if he had a nice sort of smooth rhythmic slide into third base, probably would have been safe. But it's kind of not the smartest play in that particular situation. They were tied, it would have been first and second, nobody out. Play it safe. But, he's young and he makes those mistakes, and you can't really fault him too much for being aggressive at that point. So not the smartest play, but we'll let it slide. You're not going to criticize him for being aggressive. And Kike comes up, flies to right. And by the way, Kike hitting 353 over his last 15 games. And Paez also, who had the leadoff homer in the 7th, pulled one to left, 417 feet. He's hitting over 370 in his last 20 games. Holy cow, has he found a spark and turned it around just because of a mindset. That just goes to show you, man, it is not about the skill. It is about what's going on between the ears. When you watch a James Outman who's continuing to look absolutely lost at the plate, like no clue. It looks like he is just happy to make contact, but his rhythm is there. It's just late. Everything's late. If Andy Paez could get inside of James Outman's head and say, hey, do this, stop thinking about that, start thinking about this, it would change everything for him dramatically, I think. But Andy Paez is got it rolling. James Outman does not. I mean, he is a walking strikeout. Although he did fly out tonight like a week. Yeah, again, it was like lucky to have made contact kind of a thing. And, I can't imagine they're going to continue down that road too much longer with him, because it's not like when you look at Conforto, you're like, all right, the swing still looks good. It's going to be there. That's what Dave Roberts said, and that's what happened. That's what's happening to Max Muncy. It's starting to come around. You look at James Outman, you're like, he just is lost, clueless. So I don't know if it's as John says, should have been traded last year. They like him. By all accounts, is what my buddy tells me, and that's who's his uncle. They like him in the organization, so I think they're giving him a long runway, and they want him to stay around. They want to give him an opportunity. But when you think about what happened today with the move of DFAing Austin Barnes to bring up Dalton Rushing, and Dalton Rushing is going to start tomorrow, and I know a lot of you guys have been asking for that, calling for that. Everybody wants to see Dalton Rushing. Well, you're going to get your chance tomorrow. And I know a lot of you are probably happy that Austin Barnes is gone. By all accounts, he's a good guy. I've heard some stories because he's from my neck of the woods here, an hour from LA and Riverside. And I've heard some stories that he can be a little full of himself. But as far as a Dodger, everyone can say nothing but great things about him. Glue guy, locker room guy, hardworking dude, blah, blah, blah. So I've heard mixed stories, and I never really base an opinion on somebody unless I've personally met them or had a encounter with them, because everyone gets different reads on people. So, he's been there for 11 years, and, he's been a part of this team for a long time. So you got to give him credit for that. And he helped them win 2 World Series. So hail fellow, well met to Austin Barnes, who was designated for assignment and will probably be released sooner before later. But that 6th inning was good. And the turning point of the game was the pinch hit double from Miguel Rojas. As we get a little off track, we got to steer it back onto the rails. Miguel Rojas, a pinch hit RBI double with 2 strikes down in the count, looked like he was done for, and then laced one hard to the right center field gap. Conforto scored from first, hustling all the way around, and then Ohtani legged one out, an infield hit to third base. So that 6th inning was a lot of fun and very exciting, and without a doubt, the turning point of this game as the Dodgers win it 9-3, improved to 28-15. It's the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel. Don't forget to check out Jeff and Vince Monday through Friday. The Locked On Daily Dodgers hosts usually come on after the game as well, but you'll definitely have them ready for you tomorrow morning, where they give you 30 to 35 minutes, an in-depth look at what's going on in the Dodger universe. After the break, we'll talk about the player of the game for the Dodgers on the Locked On Dodgers postcast. Tonight's episode of the Locked On Dodgers postcast is brought to you by Supply House. Get the supplies you need from the site made for skilled trades. Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing or electrical work or HVAC, which, as we all know, is heating, ventilation, and AC. So it should be HVAC. Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400-plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast, so you can save the trip down to the hardware store, Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever specific HVAC vendor you go to in your neck of the woods, and just order it from your phone online and have it delivered fast and free coast to coast. And if you need help with an order, Supply House can take care of that as well. They offer expert support and industry-leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Masters program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Did you hear me say free shipping? Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage. Now it is your turn. Join the Trade Masters program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use the promo code HS5. No, SH5. One more time, SH5, as in Supply House 5, and you'll get 5% off your first order. That is supplyhouse.com. That humming mic again, and drives me nuts. It's the Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. Dodgers off to a good start. 3 leadoff home runs. That is beautiful to see. Shohei Ohtani starts the game with a leadoff home run. Andy Pajes, a leadoff home run in the 7th. And then Ha-Seong Kim, his first career home run as a Dodger in Dodger Stadium, 385 feet on a changeup. And then Freeman broke an 0-for-2 night, picking one off the ground, like reached out. I mean, that's why Freddie Freeman, even he struck out 3 times and looked bad. Even in that at bat, he looked bad, but he got the job done. It's such a good hitter, reached out and poked it, and he's been red hot lately. So it's not surprising that he's kind of cooling off a little bit. You can't keep that going for too long. But yeah, it was nice to see him get at least 1 hit.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Well, tonight we're going to have 2 players of the game because they both had leadoff home runs and they were both impactful. Andy Pajes with 3 hits on the night. You have to give him honorable mention at least. And then Ha-Seong Kim, his first homer, he was 2 for 2 and then gets yanked. Gets pinch hit for Miggy Rojas, but Miggy Rojas clutched up there and got the go-ahead RBI, game-winning RBI for the Dodgers. So you could throw him in there as well. How about Andy Pajes and the 9 spot? 3 hits there from the 9 spot. Ha-Seong and Miggy Rojas, who had a heck of a game. The 8th inning was also fantastic from an offensive perspective. Miggy Rojas with a sac bunt, and you know how I love small ball and fundamental baseball like that, which you don't see at the major league level all that often. Miggy Rojas with a very important, meaningful sac bunt there, and they intentionally walked Ohtani to get to Mookie, who was 0 for, who then promptly doubled hard to the right center field gap, and he was jacked at second base, like screaming in the direction of the A's dugout, like That to me is, that's part of the reason I think that they have this lineup set the way that they do, because you can't, at the top of the lineup, you can't walk any of those guys to get to the next guy, because the next guy's just as good. So, and that type of situation to me is just kind of foolish. I know Mookie was over, but you're just priming the pump. Like, hey, we don't think you're good enough, Mookie. and he's a guy that, like, he's aware of that. They're all aware of that stuff. They know what that all means. Don't have to say a word. You know exactly what it means. So he took advantage of that, and the A's will rue the day they walk Shohei Ohtani to get to Mookie Betts. Again, as far as the outing for Yoshinobu Yamamoto, it was good, not great. I mean, what would we grade it? B-, maybe. It's a win. That's positive, 6 innings is also positive. 6 Ks is positive. Splitter was working. The splitter, by the way, have you heard this stat? The league, this was early in the game. I don't know what it was at the end of the day. I mean, he got 1, 2, 3, 4 of his 6 strikeouts with the splitter. So you could at least add 4 more to this number. But at the early part of the game, they shared a stat that the league is 5 for 58 versus the splitter from Yamamoto. So 5 for 62 now. So at least, I'm sure he got some more outs with that splitter there. So he's dominant with that pitch. I don't know why you don't throw it more. It is a great pitch for him. The bullpen looked good. Vesia came in. Vesia is very comfortable at the Ravine. He has a +5 ERA on the road and a 1.8 at Dodger Stadium. You add it all up, he's 3.20. He had 1K, 11 pitches, the rest zeros in 1 inning tonight. Kirby Yates came in, gave up 1 hit, 1K, 21 pitches for him. He got out of it, no harm done, got the hold. And then Kasperius, no save because it was 9-3 at that point, but he only threw 6 pitches, the rest 0. So across the board, A's, except for Yamamoto, who will give a B to. He wasn't great, but the offense got going, and that was good to see. The bullpen was solid. Max Muncy, his 2nd home run of the season, a mammoth blast to right field. That's a very typical Max Muncy, no doubt home run. Just absolutely launched. The Shohei home run, obviously always, when he hits one hard, you pretty much know it's gone. What was the exit velo on that? I didn't catch that, but it was 403 feet. Probably, 107. It's fairly typical for him. Came on a slider, his 13th of the year. Got the offense started for the Dodgers. The A's did grab a lead, but the Dodgers answered back fairly quickly. Grabbed the 4-3 lead in the 6th and never looked back. 9-3 the final. Boys in blue improved to 16-4 at Dodger Stadium. Beating the A's. The A's are the 2nd best road team, I think, because they play all of their games on the road. They, they're in that small ballpark at Sacramento. So being away from a minor league park for them is welcoming and comforting, because they're like, we're major leaguers. We don't want to play in this little shoebox. So it makes sense, but it's a nice win to beat them. They're a decent, scrappy young team. They're now 22-21, 14-8 on the road after the 9-3 win for the Dodgers. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to check out Jeff and Vince with the Locked On Daily Dodgers podcast rather. I will be here again tomorrow post game, breaking it down for you. Instant reaction as the Dodgers look to take the series in the rubber game against the Athletics. First pitch, same time, 7:10. We'll be here right around 9:30, 9:40, maybe 10. Bullpen day tomorrow, so it should be interesting. And Dalton Rushing makes his debut behind the plate for the Dodgers. Take care. Have a good night. We'll talk tomorrow.